Good morning.
Good morning. Happy
Welcome.
Wednesday.
Yes, happy Wednesday.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
You did a
Yes,
little bit, but it's okay. Welcome to another episode of Force for Growth Life. I'm Ricardo.
I'm Courtney, and thank you for joining us on Wednesday. And shout out, it's hump day, so hump over your hurdle. What's
Hump
holding you
over the
back this
hurdle.
week? Get it done. Get out of
Get
the
it
way.
done. You got 2 days, and we can still end on a high note.
Yes,
What are we talking
absolutely.
about today, Courtney Carr?
Waking up early. Dun dun
Ooh,
dun.
dun
I
dun
feel like this
dun.
is a fad. It's something that science is backed. It's got all the goods behind it, but
It's controversial.
it is. It is.
For some reason, this is a very controversial topic when you get into it.
Mhm.
Do you wake up early? Do you not? Should you be waking up earlier? Hmm. Comment below.
Let
Let
us
us
know your
know.
thoughts.
Do you wake up early? Do you not wake up early? Where are you from? I'm kind of starting to get curious. Our viewership is going up steadily, and I want to know where people are from. Comment below.
Yeah.
Let us know where you're from, and like and share
Yes.
this video, or go subscribe to the audio version at forceforgrowth.com.
Yes. So, do you wake up early, Ricardo?
Okay, so here's the thing. I've gone back and forth on this journey of waking up early and not waking up early and waking up early and not waking up early. I've gone all over the place. And here more recently, I am on the side of waking up early around 5:50 or 6 a.m. There've been a few days where I have not woken up at that time, and I have to say that my preference is to wake up early and get the stuff done, because when I don't, it feels like the day is off.
Hmm. Or like you're playing catch up all day?
It feels like that, yeah. Especially because now I've been on a really good streak of meditating. I do my meditations. I'm about to over an hour a day that I meditate and do all that stuff. And then I would work out. And when I wake up later, like 7ish or 7:30 to get started on my stuff, it doesn't work out very well. It doesn't work out very well for me. It feels very like you know, and meditation is one of the things that for me personally it has to be done in the morning, because otherwise it doesn't have the same zip to it as it does when it's the first thing in the morning and I'm not doing anything. I haven't looked at social media. I haven't logged on to email. I haven't picked up my phone. It's still dark outside. I'm halfway asleep. And those are the days that I get the best meditations.
Yeah. And what difference do you see in your day when you get a solid meditation in or early in the day? It doesn't have to be before the sun comes up, but and what difference on the days that you sleep in and don't
Like,
do that or try to
so
fit
this
it in later?
this was interesting. Yesterday was one of the days that I slept in and got everything going late. And I was just like, man, it just feels like by the time I get done with everything, it's like 10 something, right?
Mhm. Let's see.
And to me, that seems very late. That seems very late to get everything done. But when I wake up 5:50 or 6 a.m. and get everything started by 6:15, I'm done by 8ish, or a little bit earlier than that. Then that's including the workout and shower and everything. And it's like, wow, it's 8 o'clock and I've already done so much. I feel very accomplished.
Yeah. I find I need 2 hours. My kinda whole process takes about 2 hours in the morning, and it's yeah, I'm like Ricardo. I've gone back and forth, and the first year I woke up at 5, I mean, I was on point. I went from being the type that always hits the snooze button 5 times to get up right away, immediately, no snooze, 5 a.m. Let's go. And so that took some time, but I also did notice how much it did change my life right away, because that pattern was across the board, even though, the hitting the snooze button, that pattern, use your imagination. We hit the snooze button on a lot in our lives, right? So I got real good at it. I got real good at working out, got real into yoga. priming more than meditation, but I'm working on sitting still with myself now, but I'll get into that in a second. But basically, I had this time where I thought anyway, so I started sleeping in later. That's what it was. And then I talked to Ricardo, but I thought I was failing because I wasn't waking up early. I was like, but I set my goal to be the 5 a.m. person, and get my life together. Da, da, da. And so that's one thing I want to point out is if you do sleep in, you're not a failure. Chill out.
You're not.
Chill out, because I've really beat myself up here. And, it's about your 90%. It's not about your 10% that you do. Okay. But however, so now my average is 6 a.m. I've kept that for probably like 2 years and I love it. And I have a gratitude practice with my chores. I pair up some interesting things, but it sets up my energy field for my day. And if I don't do that, I notice the energy flow of the day is drastically different.
What's interesting here is that waking up early is not for everybody. So don't believe the hype that you have to wake up early to be successful. But I have found for myself that I'm my best self when I do.
Mm-hmm.
And that might not be the case for everybody else. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of material out there about that supports waking up early, but sometimes it might not just be for you. Case in point, last night, Tuesday night, I went to bed at 3 a.m. Well, Wednesday morning, this morning, I went to bed at 3 a.m. And I still woke up at 6 to meditate. I went back and took a nap after that then to get ready for this, but I still felt that I had to wake up at 6 to get it done, to feel better, to feel good, and do it. I'll get my workout later in today. I actually prefer to get my workout in after my meditation, but today it just wasn't going to happen because you have to kind of listen to yourself and be like, okay, I need a little bit of sleep here.
Yeah.
And that's
And
okay.
I find even if your sleep cycle is off, I still find, on the weekends, I'll still get up early. I'll still get up because my brain is trained now to wake up around that time. Or I'll notice it's 5:50 when an alarm set for 6 type thing. But I still follow the instinct and then I'll go back and take a nap because I don't want my rhythm in my brain to I want to keep feeding that it automatically wakes me up at 6, even though it's a weekend, even though it's this. Now, granted, I have 5 animals. So, I mean, they're trained to wake up at 6 with me too. So on the weekends, I kind of have to deal with that where they're like, hey, let's wake up. But, so they make it easy because I have a big dog in my face. It's like, let's go outside. But, that's something where for me, I tried it out both ways, many ways over the years, but I still wake up early on the weekends, but I take a nap. I go back to bed. I do my thing or have my quiet time. And then I still get that relaxation factor in, even though I'm not sleeping in. But what I do find on the days I quote unquote sleep in, now 8 is sleeping into me. Man, sleeping in on a weekend used to be like 1 p.m. So,
wow.
Yeah. And I don't, it's an interesting feeling now because I understand why I did that when I was younger, or I was drinking a lot and probably hungover. But credit where credit's due.
Yes, that is that is a possibility.
But what I notice is that I enjoy my life now. I don't want to sleep through it.
Oh.
And I've earned that right to say that and say that with passion. And so it's like, whatever, if you get nothing else, find what rhythm plugs you into your passion. And for me, the morning routine was a very key part of it.
It is. For me, it's a key part of it too. And it's just nice when everything is flowing. Jesse's doing her morning stuff. I do my morning stuff. We're all doing our morning stuff and we get it done. And it's like 9 o'clock and we've already worked out, meditated, showered, and we're like looking at each other like, hey, it's 9 o'clock and we've already done like all this stuff.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good. It sets you up for a day. It sets you up for a day. It sets you up for a great day. So let's dive into our morning rituals.
Okay. So
What are your morning rituals, Courtney? What do you do to be your best self in the morning?
Okay, let's see. So I wake up and will okay, so I have to tend to the animals right away, but I built a gratitude practice with that. So um I don't know. I take some time to make sure I have paid attention to every single one of them, make sure to look each one in their eye, cuddle them, check on them, see how they're doing. I have a few special needs animals, so I kind of have that morning, but I really have built that up intentionally to plug that into my gratitude practice. So that's also when I'll sit down and sit still, prime, but kind of sit on the couch when it's so quiet and they're all cuddly and they'll come join me. Um, and then I will do like a chore time while I turn on my, I have just basic Bluetooth headphones that reach everywhere in the house. So I don't have to keep my phone on me, and don't do it on Zoom calls. They call you out. You have to run across your house. But basically, a gratitude practice where I will feed my mind something while I'm doing my chores, or I'll listen to music while I'm doing my chores, but I pair it up with something I really like because I just personal development is ultimately a hobby, even though I'm doing it for all these different reasons. It's a hobby. So whatever your hobby is to listen to, pair that with your chores. And it's taken a year, two, three, maybe, but like I generally enjoy my chore time. Never thought I'd say that. But then I've also seen how structuring, I don't know, the structure pattern has also like trickled across my life too. So let's see, let's see. The priming's a big one. The priming is a big one. And even if I don't do Tony Robbins' official priming process, if you're Tony people, you know what I'm talking about. If you're curious, just YouTube Tony Robbins priming. He has a great free video, many of them. But it's 3 minutes of breathing, 3 minutes of gratitude, 3 minutes of visualization for your day. So the 3 to thrive. So I always make sure I have either primed or Calegoed, which I'll explain that one next, on my next day. I have set that up in my mind for how it's going to go. So even if it's the morning of, I'm still setting up in my mind how today is going to go, what I will achieve today. Not, oh, I hope I do. No, I will get this done today. No ifs, ands, buts. And that certainty. So I add that certainty in the morning with my wants and desires and goals. And then, get started. I don't know. Then my morning block closes and it's go time, baby. Like it's, I don't stop throughout the day. So, but if I didn't take that time to charge in the morning in each of those areas, I wouldn't be able to run so crazy like I do all day. And mentally, I'm able to keep up with it. So, I'm still kind of setting my mind in that how I set that up. It's like my reticular activating system, your RAS. If you do that in the morning, the entire day's energy subconsciously is helping you focus on your goal. Whereas if you don't do that subconsciously, your autopilot that you're not paying attention to, if you're just not aware of where you mentally are today, that can be working against you. So it's very profound, but it's not saying you need to do what everyone else is doing. It's saying try it on like a pair of pants and see what resonates with you. The Calego, because I mentioned that, so I have to explain. The Calego is just an exercise where you take, let's say we're talking about today, pretend like today is over and like it went perfectly, and just tell me about your day in past tense, how it went. And Kyle Cease is the one that teaches that. So, and who coined the name. But so the point is visualizing how you want your day to go and spending 5, 10, 20 minutes, an hour building that, and then go. And it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah. So for me, it started out with priming, and then that really didn't hit a vibe for me. And then I started again with just meditation with music, and I started with like 5 minutes, one song. If I could just sit here and just breathe through one song. Okay, cool. And
Was that
now
hard at first?
it was hard at first, but now I have worked myself up to about an hour and 27 minutes, where it's one session, an hour and 27 minutes. So I'll start off with a Joe Dispenza meditation. That's about 40 minutes. And then I'll go into a playlist that I've pre-selected that makes me feel a certain way. And I'll visualize my goals. I'll visualize my day. I'll visualize accomplishing things like 10,000 downloads a month of the audio podcast, 10,000 subscribers on our YouTube. Make sure you go visit
Yeah.
forceforgrowth.com to make this vision a possibility. um, but so I'll think about that, and I'll think about myself opening up the YouTube page and seeing the subscribers or getting the emails or looking at the stats and seeing 10,000 for the month, and I'll visualize that, and then I'll feel what it feels like to have that experience before that experience happens. And for more information on that, you can look into the work of Joe Dispenza. And
Yes.
so I'll go through that whole thing, and then I'll get to a point where I'll send love and gratitude to the world. And then I'll send love and gratitude to my family. And then I'll send love and gratitude to all my friends. And then I'll visualize again to a different song my goals, like whatever it is, like my health goals, my financial goals, my business goals, my podcasting goals, my speaking goals, like all these goals. Like I'll sit there and visualize them, but I really like force myself to feel what it would feel like to have this done and accomplished.
Hmm.
That's the key, to just make myself really feel it. Like, what will this really feel like when this happens?
Hmm.
And
And that's where I want to point out, because the magic of what Ricardo's saying, you guys, is like when he's talking about visualizing stats or something, like he's not in his brain like, oh, I hope next time I open that it says that. It's done. He's feeling the feelings of the appreciation that it's happened. So it's a
correct.
very deep feeling, and just pay attention to that as he's telling us
Yeah.
about this.
So I'll go through that whole thing, and then at the end, I'll have like a hype song where I'm just like, ah, right. And so after that, I'll go downstairs. Jessie will get going on her walk. I'll get going on my runs or my yoga and get that done. Go take a shower. Boom, bitty bang, boom, boom, boom. Done and done.
Ready for an amazing day.
Ready for an
Yes.
amazing day.
Yeah. It's big. It's big. I love that I like the fad of it because it's caused a lot of mainstream focus to shift to, hey, maybe just look at how you spend your first hour of your day. And I'm big on, I actually like to point out to people, actually focus on your first and last hour of your day.
Ooh.
Deep conversation as well, but what you marinate on right before you go to sleep is extremely powerful. Your subconscious marinates on that for 6 to 8 hours. So don't go to bed panicked. Don't go to bed anxious. Don't go to bed worried about your bills. And we can do a whole nother episode on that. I mean, that's really a whole nother conversation,
That's a
but
thing. Yeah.
focus on it. Focus on it. So just pay attention to how, or I guess, okay, so awareness, be where your feet are. Look at how you're spending your first hour and your last hour now. What rituals do you like or fill you up? And what rituals do you not like that drain you?
Mm.
And just be aware. Don't judge it. Don't judge it. Just stay aware and then cross out what you don't like and plug in something that you're willing to try. So it's not like you're signing a contract to, wake up at 5 for the rest of your life. No, you're just looking and taking a peek at what you can exchange in your morning that will set up the rest of the day. I mean, it really does make a massive difference. I feel like I'm
Why do you
talking
think it
all
makes a
woo-woo.
massive difference? Why do you think it makes a massive difference?
You are actually directing your energy. You're actually directing it towards something. Whereas if you just are on autopilot, if you sleep in, you probably decided to sleep. I don't know. A lot of people choose to sleep in for negative reasons. Maybe they're hiding from something. They're exhausted because their life is stressful. All these, valid reasons that you need rest, but there might be an underlying issue that sleeping in is hiding, or it was for me.
Mm.
And so you're sleeping. I don't know. I guess, is that the best answer? You're sleeping through the answers.
I'm
Like,
not gonna lie. Like right now, I'm really sleepy. I'm looking at you. Trying to see what's going on with everybody. Comment below. Let us know what time you wake up, by the way. And
yeah,
let us know where you're coming in from.
yeah.
Either way, I'm so sleepy. I went to bed at 3 o'clock this morning, but I still woke up at 6 to get my
What were you
meditation
up
on.
doing?
I was working on the paper, and then I went to
Okay.
my acting class for a little bit. Then I went back to work on my paper, and just a hodgepodge of stuff.
Yeah. When
And
we
then I
talk
was
about relentless, Ricardo, it's
and
real.
and then I was looking at the Baskets for Good marketing stuff and setting some stuff up for that, and then looking at some podcasting stuff, and then back to my paper. And yeah, so I was up till 3 in the morning. I turned around and it was 3 a.m. But I was like, no, I have to wake up at 6 to get my meditation done because I know how I'm going to feel if I don't get that done. And here's the
Mhm.
thing. Here's the thing. The same thing with the cold showers. If I think about it that this is the only thing that's in my way from achieving my ultimate success, I get it done. Listen to what I said. If I say to myself, if I take this cold shower and I can withstand it until it just warms up to lukewarm or wherever it's going to go based on the temperature outside, and if I can just withstand it, I'm going to achieve every single thing that I set my mind to.
Mhm.
And then it happens.
I love it. See, that's how I look at it in the recent years, but I do think it's where like Wayne Dyer, he talks about waking up early to not miss the messages, not miss the messages. So that's what truly resonated. That was a kick in the ass for me that got me up was your the solutions and answers are being delivered to you. You just are sleeping through them. And so that's where, just I'd go out on my front yard actually because it was early. It was before the sun came up, so nobody would see me. And I'd sit in my yard because they're like, hey, if you can meditate outside. And so I'd take my cup of tea outside in my front yard and sit down. So, but I built into what you just explained because I guess it's a muscle. So many
Let's
things are muscles.
let me go to the comments real quick. We
Yes.
have a really
Let's
good one
see.
here.
Oh,
Lori
Lori,
Beth.
it's one of my best friends in the whole world. She's amazing.
Hi Lori Beth.
Yes.
She says, needing this today. Was just talking to a lady this week about how great it is to wake up early before the world gets up. I've been struggling with this lately though. I love getting up between 5:30 and 6:30, but I've been waking up around 9. Face palm.
Mm-hmm.
Lori
I
Beth.
love you.
Well, I love you too. So
She's
here's the thing,
another
Lori Beth.
relentless personality too, because you and she like on the timing, y'all go 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 go, and then it hits you like a ton
I
of
got a
bricks.
question for Lori Beth though. I got a question for Lori Beth. Lori Beth, if I said right now, I'll give you $1,000,000 if you wake up every day at 5:30 for a month, would you be able to do it?
So are you saying it's how we talk to ourselves about it?
Just think about that. Nothing has
That is.
changed. Nothing has changed. Or let's just say, think about someone you love. And I would never do this, by the way. Let me just put a disclaimer. But think about somebody you love. And I said, something horrible will happen to that person if you don't wake up at 5:30 every morning for a month.
Yeah, you'd find a way.
You'll find a way. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. See, she says, I'd make myself do it.
Yeah.
But nothing has changed. The $1,000,000 is not in your hand. The person that you love has not been harmed. Nothing has changed. But see, that's the thing. She says mental fog has been a major issue lately. And I agree. The mental fog is, well, that's a pain in the butt. And I agree. However, nothing has changed. You would still figure out and you would push through that mental fog if I said, I'll give you $1,000,000 if you wake up every day for a month. That won't stop you.
Right.
So what if you started thinking like my cold shower mentality? Everything that you want to achieve is on the other side of doing that. Everything that you want to achieve is on the other side of waking up early, if that is in fact what you want to do. And it could be a cold shower, it could be doing that uncomfortable thing, it could be making that phone call, whatever it is that is making you uncomfortable, that you talk yourself out of doing it. What if everything that you've ever wanted to do, accomplish, be, and create in your life was on the other side of that?
Yeah. And Tony, well, so this is resonating a lot, Ricardo. So I was deep in thought, but the Firewalk, I tell myself that all the time. I'm like, it just 4 steps. It's just like Firewalk, 4 or 5 steps and you'll be done. just a few steps and it'll be on the other side and it's done. But look what you've accomplished. So I do that all the time with, so instead of the $1,000,000, I'll throw that back out. If you have walked on fire, just tell yourself like, hey, it ain't nothing but a firewalk. You were probably terrified at that time too, and you overcame it. And look at how
Correct.
easy it actually was in the end. So, but thank you for going into
Real
detail.
quick, thank you, Lori Beth, for playing with us. I
Yes.
appreciate you.
Yeah,
We appreciate that.
she is such a good soul.
But think about it though. Nothing else has changed, but you would do it if the reward was big enough at the end. One of the things that Joe Dispenza talks about in the guided meditation that I'm currently doing right now, he says, love yourself enough to give you this gift.
Mhm.
Love yourself enough to give you this gift. Again, if this is something you actually want to do, love yourself enough to fill in the blank. In Lori Beth's case, love yourself enough to wake up early and do your stuff in the morning before the world gets up.
Mhm.
Love
Yeah.
yourself enough to give you that gift.
What's that quote? Or I don't know if it's a meme I'm remembering. So I'm sorry to the author. I don't remember, but it's if you don't have 10 minutes to meditate, you are required to meditate for an hour. But it's if you don't
Ooh.
have time, you need to meditate a lot longer than 10 minutes, babe.
You need to make time.
And that's it's it for me. That's what I do is I look at whenever I have those thoughts that are like, I don't want to do this. I don't have time. And it's like the devil on my shoulder. And then,
And we all have that. We all have that.
Yeah. And then but I have my average or my higher self or my, conscious, I don't know what you're calling it, but she's getting so much stronger to be like, no, you want this. This will lead to this. Do it. And it's just eliminated a lot of emotions of BS emotions. And I feel like that's what the hard part is waking up in the morning is because you get flooded with these anxious thoughts first thing, or I'm so tired or this, or I just want to, and sleep is a comfort. Sleep is a comfort. So if that's hitting you and you're sleeping in to hide from something, I would say I require you to get your butt up. Okay. Like just get it done. Try it out. Try it out. Don't have to do it forever. However, if it's joyful and you wake up at peace, maybe you don't have to do it in the morning, maybe. So it's just really look at what emotions are hitting you first thing when you wake up. Because that was a big gauge for me as to my mental health. And it's slowly changed over the years. And anyway, I mean, if you're struggling with that, reach out to me. I'll tell you a lot more.
And the fact is, it might not be for you. Waking up at 5 or 6 may not be for you. It's not for everybody. Don't feel obligated that you have to do it.
Yeah.
That's a myth.
Like if I remember a bartender once messaged me, it was like, okay, this whole 5 a.m. thing, I get off work at 3, after they close down the bar at 2. Granted, COVID world, it's changed, but it's what's your 5 a.m. So your 5 a.m. can be a totally different time of day. But the point is to analyze your rituals and what's filling you up and what's draining you. That's it.
What are you exposing yourself first thing in the morning?
Oh, one thing we haven't talked about. Don't get on social media first thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Would save this for the end for limit my soapbox. If you are immediately social media, we all know it can have a lot of negative connotations. So if you're on it, clean it up. Unfollow those people that give you that negative, like that you want to argue with comments. Unfollow. It's okay. I give you my permission. But overall, so just like clean up your general. But if first thing in the morning you're laying in bed and looking at your phone and you go on Facebook, you're going to immediately feel like comparison. You're going to immediately feel maybe jealousy or judgment, or you're annoyed at that person, or how dare that ex like post that, but why are you still friends with them? So it's like all these things, but these negative feelings all hit you before your feet have ever touched the ground. What is that priming you for? More judgment, more comparison, more ego-based anxious thoughts throughout the day. So I'll keep talking about it for years. I keep my phone on airplane mode for the first hour of the day. The exception is if I'm turning on some kind of mental YouTube something to like just listen to, or an audiobook or something like that, meditation. So I will use it for that. But and I did that because of my negative patterns that I was developing with social media. And I mean, now I only check it a handful of times a day, but I enjoy it when I check it because I always have, so I turned off notifications, things like that for the same reasons. But if you wake up, open your phone, and just start scrolling, honey, you need to focus on you for a bit in the morning.
Hmm.
Like,
That is so true. That is so true.
big.
And that's one of the reasons that, because yesterday when I meditated a little bit later than I typically do, I had already looked at email. I was already watching TV. I had already checked some social media stuff, and it just threw my whole day out of whack.
Yeah. And then
So
it's like a recovery meditation versus the priming, the
oh yeah,
rich, set your
it,
day up
it's
type.
a whole different type of thing. It's a whole different type of deal. So that's why this morning I just dead tired, dead asleep. I probably fell asleep through some of my meditation, but you know what? So what? Big deal. Whatever.
Done is better than perfect.
Yeah, but done is better than perfect in this case. But I woke up, got it done before I looked at any type of anything on my phone.
It's big.
What
Yeah.
books do you recommend, Courtney? I know that you had some books. Touch base
I
on those
did.
books.
Okay. Yes. So the Miracle Morning. Okay. So Hal Elrod, the Miracle Morning is that. Yep. And then I was in network marketing. So of course I got the network marketers version. But how the Miracle Morning, do follow Hal Elrod. He has survived cancer. He's amazing. He beat cancer. I saw him give a speech. I'd already read the main book, and I went to the company I was working with at the time to the convention, and he was giving a speech. He announced during that speech that he was working on overcoming cancer. And so since then, I believe it is in remission. But since getting into this, he emphasized, so it was a very powerful speech that took a deeper turn. But the same pattern, same rituals also cured his cancer. And now he also did the Western medicine with the holistic approach at the same time, different subject, but he's fascinating. But he talks about his morning savers. And savers is the word that we're going to break down and give. So silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. So these are his 6 that you need to do every morning. And the Miracle Morning is just, he talks about it like an hour, 10 minutes each. So it's not an hour of exercise and then an hour of reading. And then it's 10 minutes, move your body, 10 minutes, feed your brain something, 10 minutes, journal, scribing, so exercise, visualization, what Ricardo went in deep about, affirmations, just a pattern, and then sitting in silence. So, and he starts with silence. So the books go into a lot more detail, but just shout out to Hal Elrod. He's amazing. But those 6 things, let me read. Well, I already closed the page, whatever. So the savers, Hal Elrod savers, I closed the page. But I recommend those. More than actual material in the morning, I would say the first step, you need to just sit with yourself. So that
Yes.
was my ultimate suggestion, because when you get that down, then let's talk books.
Yeah.
Because you are
My
the most
book that I
fascinating book you
recommend,
can read.
my book that I recommend is The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. Own your
Oh, he's
morning,
great.
elevate your life.
Mhm.
Great book.
Yeah.
Great book.
Oh, the 5-second rule as well goes into depth about waking up early. Mel Robbins.
Mel
That's
Robbins.
another one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So many good things. But again, this is just a suggestion.
Yes.
Don't feel that you're obligated to wake up early. I despise, I don't want to use the word hate, but I really frown upon these articles that come out when they say, in order to be successful, do these 5 things, and waking up early is one of those 5 things. Dude, you're trying to tell me that there's not one successful person that sleeps in.
Right.
That's some BS. Look at
Yeah.
the famous DJs that DJ in Las Vegas.
Mhm.
They don't wake up early.
And if you're waking up early to complain about your life, that
It doesn't work.
rule isn't true either. So
Correct.
it's not one size
So
fits all.
it's not for everybody. And don't fall into this trap about that you have to do something, that you have to do this, that you have to do that. Don't fall into that trap.
Yeah.
Be your own self. Do what works for you. If waking up early for you is 7 a.m., wake up at 7 a.m. versus 9 a.m. If you wake up at 1 and maybe waking up early for you is 10. The whole
Yeah.
point here is, what are you exposing yourself the first 20 minutes of your day? What are you exposing yourself to the first 20 minutes of your day?
Mhm. Or just study and track. Just keep a little journal. And
Correct.
for Monday through Friday only, or 5 days straight, just how were your first 20 minutes spent and how did your day go?
Yes.
And bet you there's going to be a lot of similarities if you actually do these exercises.
Yeah, that's going to be powerful.
Hmm.
Wow.
But we want
Good.
you to see it for yourself. So track your own
Yes.
habits, but do just give yourself permission to try something new. Give
Yes.
yourself permission just to wait. That's another thing. I would just, at one point, it was too hard to do this whole routine and wake up early. So I was like, girl, just wake up. Just wake up and don't go back to sleep. And I did that for a while.
And that
And then I
works.
added one or two things. And so bite sized chunks, like don't stop beating yourself up. You're not failing at life. You just could make it a little better. That's it. So bite-sized chunks. Bite-sized chunks. Oh, that doesn't work for me. Cool. Don't do it again. That's it.
Correct.
You don't have to have feelings about why that thing worked for this person and not you. You're a different human. You're a different flower. You're going to bloom different. That's it.
Yep. And
So,
find your 5 a.m. For your
yeah.
5 a.m. could be 5 a.m. It could be 6. Just because
Mhm.
it's the 5 a.m. club doesn't mean that you have to wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Find your 5 a.m. Find your early morning.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yes.
A lot of stuff here, Courtney.
This is good. Y'all got me thinking deep. So
This
between
is
you and
good
Lori,
stuff.
I'm like, oh,
I think we're
I'm
going to
ready
have
to
to
talk.
follow up on this one in a couple of months and
Yeah.
continue on.
Let us
Continue
know if
on.
y'all want to talk about night rituals too. There's just rituals. Rituals. There was a lot of power whenever we started using the word rituals instead of just routine. It's a
Yes.
ritual. This is for me.
Ritual makes it more personal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
What are your morning rituals? We'll follow up on that another day
Yes.
because
Yes.
mine are expanding. My thing is expanding. My stuff is expanding.
We're gonna
So
come back and it's like, well, we have a 3 hour like we do this.
we do this. Hey, but
But
you know what? I feel good. I feel happy.
that's what's important. Is you're
I feel
enjoying it.
connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Jessica. Find your 5
Our
a.m.
superstar Jessica there. She's always got good input.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jessica Trias. All right.
Hmm.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Remember to subscribe to the podcast. Visit forceforgrowth.com. If you're in the North Texas area, our annual Baskets for Good delivery, Courtney, is when?
November 21st, 2020, and we
Ooh,
are feeding 200 families for 1 week. So donations are much appreciated, and we have some cool features for you if you would like to donate and talk more about that. But
I did the math. 200 families for a week, 3 meals a day for 7 days. Average family of 3 is over 16,000 meals.
wow, that's a number I haven't seen since we've started this. Is the actual
That's,
number of meals?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Because I don't like to talk in meals. I like to talk in families.
Yeah,
But when I broke it down for meals, it's rather
16,000.
significant
That is.
because that includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah,
So
that is.
thank you so much for
We'd love.
tuning in.
Yes.
We'll be back
Just
on Friday. Friday is Freestyle Friday. What are we going to talk about? What's going to happen?
we have
I
no
don't know.
idea. And
Mhm.
Ricardo is probably plotting something to
We don't
surprise us
know.
all. So.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But it's going to be great. We'll be back with Michelle on Friday. Have a
Yeah.
great day, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you come back and hit replay, watch it from the beginning, join the conversation. We'll be on the comments, checking your comments out and responding.
Yes.
Ah,
Thank you guys.
thanks. Bye.
Make it a great day. Bye.